Hey folks, it's Dr. Brenda coming at you with another campground review. I'm a sociologist, financial coach, founder of the Gutsy Women Club, traveling the country in my RV with my three cats, and today I'm giving you a review of Valley of Fire State Park in Overton, Nevada. And this is located an hour and a half north of Las Vegas. Okay, hey, before I begin, can you please subscribe? You'd really be doing me a favor if you already subscribed. Thanks. It's much appreciated. Okay, Valley of Fire State Park. Now, before I get into the nitty gritty, let me just tell you a couple of big things you need to know about this state park, about the campground in particular. I came in in the east entrance, and that is not staffed. There is no staffing of the campground at all. So everything is, you've got to get an envelope, pay. Better yet, go to the visitor center, pay once you find a site. That's the other key. Once you find a site, this is all first come, first serve. I got to tell you, it's kind of stressful. I came in on a Sunday morning and was lucky enough to find some RVers leaving. So I got a site, not the best one. It's all kind of hit or miss. I've been watching RVs. I've got one right now circling around trying to find an open site. So all of the Nevada state parks are first come, first serve. That's not the way I prefer to do my RVing, but it is what it is. So that's the trickiest part. Okay, now couple of tips. Once you're here, most of the campground, most of the state park, you don't have cell service. I have Verizon, I have AT&T. I'm told that if you go to by site number one, campsite number one, you might be able to pick up AT&T. But for most of us, there's nothing available. There's no over-the-air TV station, so it's pretty quiet out here. In terms of cell service, in terms of Wi-Fi, this is not a real great place to have a business and try to be connected to Wi-Fi. I have felt at times like I am on a 1200 dial-up speed modem. If you remember those old days, everything is cranking really slow. They do have Wi-Fi here if you want to pay for it. I've not seen such crazy, outrageous prices ever. So they have something called Viasat, I believe it is, $3 an hour, $8 for 24 hours. I mean, it's pretty unreasonable. So yeah, good luck with cell service, getting Wi-Fi out here. That's not so easy. So like I'm able to produce this here. I can't load it up until I get to another campground, get into town. So that's the story here. You are way out in the middle of nowhere. This is a huge park, and it takes a long time to get to either end. The local town is Overton. That's on the east side. There's some groceries, some restaurants there, but get your stuff, get here, and find a site, get yourself settled, because it's not so easy to go pick up a pizza. That's for sure. All right. If you're looking for a fun little side visit, I went to St. Thomas. It's a ghost town. It's just a town that was bought out when the Hoover Dam was built. Lake Mead had flooded it. Well, if you're right by the Lake Mead recreation area, you can see how low that lake is. But anyway, you can go visit St. Thomas in about a 2.5 hour 2.5 mile, route down into the old foundations of the town. So kind of interesting. So you can do that. Really some great trails. So I'm going to get into the logistics now. And as a bonus, because I like to throw bonuses in at the very end, I've got some of your campground visitors. The first 2 days I was here, we had bighorn sheep, sunrise and sunset. I haven't seen them since in the campground, but I managed to get a little video. So that's at the very end. So let's go into the details as to why Valley of Fire State Park gets the 3 campfires. The campsite, highly variable. Again, I'm in the RV part of the park, and I have power and water. So most of the other, outside of the RV park, RV loop, there is no power. Things are really uneven. I was going to park at one site, and it's like, oh man, I can just see by looking at it that my front wheels are going to be way up in the air. And there are some sites, even this site, where it'll lift your back wheels off. So you got to be really careful. I saw a Class A bus just come in, and there's at least those front tires at least a foot off the ground. So the campsites are really uneven. They're highly variable in terms of location. Um, there's nobody cleaning the sites. Okay, it's first come, first serve. You're supposed to be out of here by 2 o'clock, a very late check-in time, and people are coming and going all the time. So there's no cleanup of the sites in between, one group of campers and the next. So yeah, a 3 out of 5 is some great. I'm going to show you. So if you're looking for some really great options, if you can get one of those on the loop where you've got a desert overlook, that's really terrific. But like I said, I've seen people every night circling the campground, not every night, every morning and daytime, just trying to find an open spot. There's not a lot to pick from with that first come, first serve. It's really tough. Restrooms. I was either 1 or 2, and I'm like, I got hot water, so they get a 2. But this is an old park, and it's restrooms are not pretty. Okay, I'm just going to put it that way. They're cleaned as much as you can clean hard cement, but they look pretty dingy. They're not inviting, but I got hot water, so I was happy for hot water. I didn't have to pay for it, so restrooms are generous too. Amenities and trails, you really don't have the amenities, but you've got some really nice trails. Trails that tend to be unmarked. On the whole, this whole campsite, this whole campground can definitely use some maintenance. That's true on the trails where signs are, they've got things color-coded supposedly, but the signs aren't color-coded, or there are a lot of trails that aren't even really marked. So yeah, this is a really good place. If you have the All Trails app, download those maps, those routes of any trails, because they're very poorly marked in this park. Safety. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. Typically, I go into a state national park campground partly for the safety, and I've generally given almost everybody a 4 or 5. I don't feel unsafe here, but the fact that there is almost no ranger presence, I think now I will have been here for 10 days, and I've seen the ranger maybe twice just circle around in a truck. But there's just, you got people eyeing your site to see when you might be leaving. It's just, I just didn't feel like it's the safest place in the world. I've got no cell service. If I want to, or sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So if you want to call for help, who's going to be there? But the lack of ranger presence is a bit bothersome. Cleanliness, a 4 out of 5. They do their best with the bathrooms. Like I said, the campsites themselves, they don't clean. Been here where there's some windstorms just blowing in all kinds of junk. That can't be helped. Value. This is a really confusing place to figure out how much you owe. So in the end, I paid $35 for a site in the RV loop, and that included water and power. So the value, it's okay. It's all right. That is the non-Nevada resident fee. If you are a Nevada resident, you will pay less. So that is it. So now I'm going to get you to my little videos. Hope you enjoy the park. Hope you enjoy the review. And hey, don't forget to subscribe. Until the next campground review, this is Dr. Brenda. Have a good time. Bye-bye. You've got 2 entrances to the park. This is the entrance on the east side. I entered on this side. It has been closed the whole time I've been here, so I don't believe it is staffed. It's a little confusing. Now the other entrance on the west side is closer to Vegas. That is staffed. But if you're coming here, The temptation is to pull in here where you're going to do the self-pay thing. But if you're in an RV, you don't know if there's any site availability, right? It's all first come, first serve. So just head on through, get to the campground, see what's available, take care of your business there. But there's no reason to really stop here at this pay station because, again, you don't know if there are any campground sites available. So it is a little confusing. We'll watch, you know, this person is also trying to figure out what the deal is, which is exactly what every RVer comes in. Everything's closed. It says campground full. Trying to figure out what to do next. And coming here, which is the wrong choice. So, yeah, so just come on in, check, go ahead directly to the campground, see what's available. There you go. So when you enter the Atlatl Campground, you're going to come to these stop signs. It tells you to self-pay your camp fees at the feed tube. All right, so first thing you're going to do is sort of ignore the stop sign. You're going to see if there is anything available that you want. So most of the sites on the first part where you come in, these are mostly tent sites. You might find some water spigots here and there, but they do not have the power. So this is, I've seen trailers parked in here who are running their generators and such. So not the ideal place for especially a big rig. So here's your envelope, okay? So this is what you can pick up, and it's got the information in there, and you've got to either find a check or use cash. I'm going to tell you what we did is we went to the visitor center. First of all, this is incredibly confusing as to what it is you're supposed to be paying. So this is a chart, and anytime you've got a chart with different colors and yes and no's and trying to follow it, you're wondering what the devil you're supposed to be paying for. You've got camping in a regular site, then camping in a hookup, then whether you're a Nevada resident, not a Nevada resident. Very, very confusing. So I would recommend going to the visitor center. I am in the RV area. I've got water and electric, extra $10 for that. Non-Nevada resident, I'm paying $35 a night. So that is what I am paying. But very, very confusing. And if you're like me, trying to find a checkbook is pretty difficult. So yeah, if you're here, I recommend taking your credit card, going to the visitor center. They'll take care of all of your fees and make sure that the rangers know that you are paid up. So yeah, so more information. So this is where you're going to be paying. Let me take you in here for a bit. You've got some restrooms over here. There's definitely a problem with these restrooms, okay? I'd be saying, hi guys, there is no mirror in here. So these are just some restroom stalls. Everything is concrete. Hopefully you got running water. You can wash your hands, but not wipe your hands. So this is a pretty dingy, dingy restroom. Here, there's another one in the RV area with showers that I will take you to, but this is right at the place where you are asked to pay your fees. In terms of maintenance, I think this sign, this map sort of tells it all, okay? This is your map. This is what's left of it. And sure, there's fire damage, but this is just really a poorly maintained park. You find signage that's out of date. It's as I just showed you, the restrooms with no mirrors, just things that have not been maintained in this park. And this is my campsite. I'm parked at site 38. It's pull through, pretty generous sized. Get you a look around here, some of the other sites. And everything here is first come, first served, so you get what you get. I actually pulled out of a couple of spots after checking them out. They were not very level. This also has some leveling issues, but it's not too bad. And so I've got a covered picnic table. You see, cats are enjoying walking on the rocks, but I do have to get to the dirt to get to my picnic table. Yeah, found some Tonka trucks, some little toys in the sand. I get the impression that the sites are not really cleaned up in between visitors. It is mid-October here, so yes, there is a little grill, but there are fire restrictions in place, propane fires only, and that sign doesn't seem to be changing. Also a fire pit that currently cannot be used because of those same fire restrictions. So this is it. You've got power and water, but there is not a full hookup here. So this is my site. I'm gonna show you what I think are some of the more premium sites if you can get lucky enough to get them. Now, there are some sites that I would highly recommend when you're here. Just take a look to see if there's any availability on these outside sites here. Definitely worth having because you've got this beautiful open expanse view of the desert. The bighorn sheep have been coming up into the campground very close, so you might get a great view of bighorn sheep. And this is where the sun rises, so you get incredible sunrises. So check out the outer rims first. If anybody looks like they are packing up to leave, it might be worth waiting and grabbing one of their spots. Definitely much more level, spacious, but you get a beautiful view. So that is my recommendation if you get so lucky. Grab one of those outer rim spots. Okay, I'm at the main restrooms and shower facilities in the RV loop. So let me take you inside. Here's the restroom. Hi guys, at least we have a mirror in this one. Actually a couple of hooks, and it's very basic. Okay, so that is your restroom in the RV loop. Right next door is the shower. Okay, so you've got a single shower in here, a couple of shelves, shower curtain. It's a little dark in here, so I'm not able to show you everything. Now, this looks pretty nasty. I don't know whether this can even be cleaned, but it looks pretty nasty. Separate controls outside of the shower. I will say this was really great for a hot shower. It got really hot water, but yeah, it's definitely not the prettiest thing you've ever seen. Okay, so that is the shower. There are two of them in this building. The good thing is they are free. They are included, so you're not paying extra for them. And so 2 shower stalls and a couple of restrooms on both sides of the facilities. I'm at the Arch Rock Campground. Now this is several miles, I think, from the other campground. There is no power at any of these sites, and this is the entrance. So you've got, again, your self-pay fee envelope. You see a couple of RVs here, but this is a lot of tent camping, and you've got some water but no power. So if you can be self-contained, this is might be an option for you. The sites also look a little bit shorter in general. So again, this is the Arch Rock Campground. I'll just walk on up to a site so you can get a better sense of what is here. And so you've got, it looks like a little area where you could set up a tent in the back, picnic table. And again, I'm in here mid-October, so you have fire restrictions in place. Water spigot, got everything you need. A little restroom down that way. Nice location, but again, no power. Now, as you enter or exit the Atlatl Rock Campground, you're going to find the dump station. Also some garbage bins, but you have a dump station here and potable water. So this is where it's located. You've got 2 spots for dumping, so whether you're coming or going, you should be okay. This often gets very busy, so there you go. That's the dump station. And this is the visitor center. So you can see it's nicely tucked away, surrounded by these beautiful, beautiful hills. It is at this point only open till 4:30 p.m. So if you are planning on paying for your camping fees here, make sure that you pay attention to the time. There are some restrooms in the back, some water fill-up stations for you to fill up your water, and some exhibits inside. So it's good for a short little stop, and there's a small store inside too if you are looking for a t-shirt or some unhealthy snacks. You can find them there. So that is the visitor center, and you're going to find the main road to a lot of the trails is right behind here, right in front of me now. So yeah, lots and lots of trails. So you might want to check out the visitor center while you're camping at the park.